Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Digicam fan. I love these classic cameras that fit in your pocket and just focus on being awesome. No notifications, no apps, no other stuff to get in the way, just pure photography, CCD camera photography. I'm going to show you my recipe to recreate the classic Kodachrome 64 film emulsion on this camera, this series of cameras, the PowerShot SDs. Did you know you can create your own film simulation recipes on these vintage cameras? It's true, I'll show you how. Alright, so many videos have you wait until the very end of the video to show you the recipe. I'm going to show you the recipe right away. Hopefully you stick around though, because I still have more to talk about it. So turn on your PowerShot, and however it is, you need to go into manual mode. Now this one's got a cool little dial. The SD750 has a dial, whereas other ones are all controlled by the little pad here. So you want to go over to the manual mode there, and that unlocks a variety of things. Now I wish it would also unlock the aperture and shutter speed and all of that, but we still have some good stuff to work with. So Kodachrome 64 is this vintage film stock, and if you want that filmic look, here's what you got to do. First of all, you're going to go to your ISO and set it to the lowest of 80. Kodachrome 64 is very, very, very low grain, so therefore we're going to go with the lowest noise setting of the camera, 80. Next, we'll open up the main functions, and here in manual mode we have access to exposure compensation of plus 1/3, so it'll be slightly overexposed in the regular exposure. Classic film was a little bit brighter. This will give you that filmic look with a little bit of overexposure, just a tiny bit. This will be a daylight white balance. Automatic white balance is okay, but don't let it think for you. You specifically choose daylight. And then finally, the big secret comes from here, the custom colors. We have all of these various other presets, but you want to go all the way to the right and find the custom color. Then open it with menu, and you have various settings over here. So all of these are what combine together to create that vintage film stock look. Starting with contrast all the way up, +2. We want the definition between tones to be stark, just like in the classic film. Sharpness, we want this +1. Kodachrome 64 was a very sharp film, very low grain. Saturation all the way up, +2. Again, those classic films, they used to be projected with light, and therefore they were super saturated to look amazing while projected. So we get a +2 here. Red tones all the way +2. These were some very warm film stocks. Therefore, they were also decreased in the green tones, so -1 there. And the blue tones were also decreased a bit, -1. Lastly, skin tone +1. That was film designed to capture the human face beautifully. And so this is our recipe to emulate Kodachrome 64. We'll lock it in, menu, and we're ready to take photos. I usually have this on evaluative mode so that we get a great exposure all the way throughout. Super fine quality. Whatever memory card you have, you're going to be able to take lots of photos. You want all the quality and the full sensor here. Ring out every megapixel out of this chip. 3072 by 2304 maximum size. Don't skimp on that size. You want all the pixels that you can get. And even there on the highest quality, the highest size, I'm still going to take more than 4,000 shots on this camera. But that's my recipe. Go forth and take amazing photos. And that was my recipe for simulating Kodachrome 64 on the Canon PowerShot SD750. This recipe should work on pretty much all SDs. They have the same sort of menu. You're gonna take some nice bright photos, beautiful saturation and sharpness, just a classic filmic look. All the shots I showed you were in broad daylight on a nice sunny San Diego day, and I love them. I hope you do too. I hope your own photos come out just as good. Tell me about it in the comments. Do you have your own tips for making your own simulation? Tell me in the comments. If you want more recipes, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell to be alerted to when the new episode comes out. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to keep the channel going, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, to pledge at $3.33 a month. What a deal. Keep the channel going, keep it funded. Be a part of it all at patreon.com/vmcampos. This has been the latest episode of Digicams for Days, and I'll see you next time.